Hey guys, and welcome to Code Way Too Easy. I'm Jimmy, your host. Thank you for joining us. And now we're going to start getting into a little bit more advanced coding. These past videos have been an intro for the most part. We've been talking about variables. We've been talking about how to output information to the screen, how to manipulate these variables, this way of storing data in our program and then presenting it to our user. We've talked about how to put comments in our code so we can understand what the code is doing at a later date or share our code with someone else. We've talked about syntax. We've talked about a good number of things. Today we're going to jump in and put some real world application into this. So we can pick any programming language because you know that programming languages is just nothing more than a tool. It doesn't matter. Syntax could be a little different from language to language, but it's just a tool, and we can always use Google. We can always debug. We can always think for ourselves, problem solve, and figure out any bugs or errors in our code. Again, coding is nothing more than just instructions, step-by-step instructions that you give to your computer. So I'm thinking it's going to be maybe a JavaScript day. We can do Java. We could do Python. We've done a lot of that in the last videos. Let's do JavaScript. We haven't really touched too much on that. So let's be challenged, and let's get right to it. All right, so let's go ahead and do the following. Let's go and we're going to create our first very simple program, which we've already done. It's called Hello World. So let's go to a JavaScript online editor. Pick any one of these. Let's pick something that we made, hopefully like. This one, I'm not sure. We'll give it a try. So this is a JavaScript editor. Okay. All right, so let's see. Let's go ahead and run this as it is. This is some JavaScript that is going to be inside a web page, and that's what JavaScript is for the most part. It lives within inside a web page. Let's go ahead and see if we can run this code. And there you go. We got the little message that popped up here. Let me move this out of the way. But yeah, we got the little hello jQuery. All right, so this is this is one way of printing information out in JavaScript. All right, but now for our first program, which is going to be pretty much the same one that we just ran, we're going to just say hello world. So the main line of code in this case is this one right here. Let me see if I can get this a little bigger so you guys can see this a little bit more clear. There you go. So we're going to just say hello world. That's the first program that we do in any programming language and any coding first time doing it. We always just say hello world. All right, let's go ahead and just modify this, run it, and there we go. We got that little message that said hello world. A pop-up came on our website and on our page, and it says hello world. Okay, so let's go beyond that. Let's ask the user, let's ask ourselves through the code, let's ask for their name, and then once we've got their name, let's say, oh, nice to meet you, whatever your name is. All right, so let's see how we can actually do that. So I'm not sure how to do this exactly in JavaScript, but what we can do is go to Google and we can type JavaScript, how to receive input, how to get input from user. So there we go. So in JavaScript, to get user input, we could do something like this. Okay, so this person gives us a nice example. So let's go ahead and do that actually. We're going to just grab this person's code, and then a lot of what we do in coding sometimes, whether you think it's good or not, you search for stuff, and you may grab somebody else's code, and then you can modify it to your own needs. And I'm a big promoter of that. Let's see, this website's not loading. Let me reload, try to stop it and reload. Okay, this is not working. But we do see that we have some information here. I think this is actual code in JavaScript, so we can actually do this. Perfect. So this is kind of what we wanted to do, and we're going to walk through this and kind of understand exactly what's going on here. But let's go ahead and insert this. Let's move this. So in JavaScript, similar to the programming language Java, you need to have a semicolon at the end of your file. So I'm going to just put this on a new line here so we can read it better. But now there's something called you can actually put a comment, or you can comment out a code. So in JavaScript, if we don't want this line of code where it says alert hello world, where we just output information on the screen, we can tell the computer to ignore that by putting a // and then you see immediately this piece of code that was code before now turns to a different color. It's green. So the computer is going to run through here and say, oh, I see 2 slashes, // Okay, I'm going to ignore everything on this line. Let me go to the next line. On the next line, we have a creation of a variable. Again, a variable is a container that has a name, and you can put a value inside that container, and then we can use that at a later date. So in JavaScript, the way you do that is you do var space the name. You can name it whatever you want. You can name the variable whatever you want. Let's call it just ABC. And then ABC is going to get the value because of the equal sign we see here from Windows. So we're causing a window to pop up, prompt to come up, and it's going to ask you, please enter your name. And then as soon as we got that value from the user, we're going to store that into our variable ABC, and then we're going to do an alert. In other words, we're going to send output some information onto the user on the screen. Your name is, and then we mention the name. Again, remember here, we've updated the variable from name to ABC, so we need to do it over here as well on this line 5, ABC. Let's go ahead and run this. Oh, we get a little prompt that says, okay, enter your name. My name is Jimmy. Okay, I'm going to hit OK. And then immediately we get the output, your name is Jimmy. So there we go, guys. We made 2 very simple programs. We did the Hello World program. We were just output hello world, and then we've created another program just using 2 lines of code where we created a variable, a container, and we asked the user to give us some value, and we stored that into that variable, and then we took immediately that variable and then output that information and say, hey, your name is whatever your name was entered. Okay, so there we go. That's awesome. So let's actually make this a little bit more complicated. Let's ask the user 2 times to give us 2 numbers, a number A and a number B, whatever that may be. So let's go ahead and take this similar idea, the same code, and we can call this number 1. All right, so this is the first number. Enter a number. So enter a number. All right, we're going to get that, store that into the variable called number 1. Then we're going to create another, oops, what did I do? It's hoping, yeah, let me move this a little bit more. All right, so we're going to create a variable, a second variable. Again, a variable stores data for us in our program. Variable, we call it number 2. Window prompt, enter your second number. So we're going to get the user to give us 2 numbers, and then what we're going to do with that is the following. We're going to create another alert statement, and we're going to say, let me just copy this, because we are going to use this again in a moment, but we're going to say that we can actually get rid of this, and we're going to say, okay, thank you. Now the product or multiplication of these numbers is, so now we've put in we're outputting some information to the screen where we're telling the user, hey, we're about to inform you that the product or the multiplication of these 2 numbers is whatever that is, right? So now that we have the numbers, we need to actually compute that. So let's create a new variable, var space result. We're going to set that equal to taking variable number 1, and we're going to multiply it by number 2, variable number 2, in this case number 2. All right, now we've gotten this result. All right, so the next thing that we're going to tell the computer, because coding is that, it's just instructions that we give to the computer, we're going to do an alert, and we're going to say, and we're just going to mention result equal to, and then we're going to reference not ABC because we no longer have that variable. We're going to use result, because that's the result that we wish to output to the screen to the user. So there you go. We've made it a little bit slightly more complicated program. We're asking the user to give us 2 variables, 2 numbers that we're going to tell them, hey, we're going to multiply these numbers for you. And then the result is And then we do the multiplication of these numbers. We create a new variable, a new container to store the product or the multiplication result of these two numbers. And then we inform the user at the very end, hey, this is the result of this multiplication is whatever it is. All right, so let's go ahead and run this and see how it works. So, enter a number. Okay, I'm going to go with the number 2. I'm going to click OK there. And then I get another prompt, enter a second number. Okay, so we know that okay, 2 was the first number. Let's put another 2. Or let's make it 3, because I know 2 multiplied by 3 should be 6. So let's put OK. And this is okay, embedded. Okay, so it says, okay, thank you. Now the product or multiplication of these numbers is, and then there you go. We got our result. So we were expecting the result of 6 because 3 multiplied by 2 is 6. So awesome, guys. Again, these videos are going to be concise, short, but this is, you can consider this our first Hello World plus more, a little bit complicated, more complicated coding. And I hope you guys have registered at the Google Classroom. I'll put the link to we have a free course. This is a free course that I'm offering. Code Way Too Easy. It's free. You can sign up on the Google, have a Google account. You can create a Google account if you don't, and you can start doing some of these tests and assignments so we can review all the material we've done up to this point. And thank you, guys. Please consider subscribing. I am Jimmy. We are Code Way Too Easy. If you're interested in a premium version of this course where I will help you hopefully land a tech job based on getting some knowledge on coding, then please consider that. I'll put more details in the near future. But right now we have that free course, and you should check it out. And the premium course will be where I provide you even better material in better ways, and will help you with your resume, and we'll get through the practice for interview process so you can get that big tech, good paying job. But I mean, anyway, code way too easy. Code is really too easy, and I just want to show you with these videos. Thank you for your attention, and I will see you on the next one. Goodbye. God bless.